Adam Silver and the rest of the NBA higher-ups, your reign of terror stops today. You're all under arrest for the fraudulent crime that was committed yesterday. The NBA community has suffered long enough. We've suffered long enough. A 1.8% chance to get the #1 overall pick, and it goes to the Dallas Mavericks, huh? We're just supposed to assume that was by chance? No. It was rigged. I have all the evidence I need. I know it was rigged. And guess what? Your time is up. We just watched the Dallas Mavericks go from the 11th best odds to the #1 overall pick. 1.8% chance. And I'm supposed to believe that from February 2nd to the day before yesterday, that all of a sudden they get a lifeline. They get a new lifeline by getting Cooper Flag. They traded Luka Doncic, their franchise generational player, their next Dirk Nowitzki. That Kyrie gets hurt, Anthony Davis gets hurt, the entire team gets hurt. Behind the scenes, which is something we don't even talk about, Nico Harrison is firing everybody. He's fired Casey Smith. Not this year. The previous season. He's firing everybody. They're in Dallas chanting "Fire Nico." He's having secret meetings to address the damn media. He's saying defense wins championships. If I had a nickel for every time I heard defense wins championships out of that man's mouth, I'd be broke right now. Y'all wouldn't be seeing me today. Kyrie tore his ACL. He's not going to miss the rest of next season probably. The entirety of next season. The amount of bad luck that happened for that franchise because of that man, and the Utah Jazz, the Washington Wizards, they don't get Cooper Flag. No, the Dallas Mavericks do. And I'm supposed to assume that this was all luck. You can't even begin to think of another instance like this in sports, where an organization has had probably their worst 3 to 4 months period ever, but then gets randomly bailed out with the #1 overall pick. You can't tell me you can't compare this to any other time in NBA history. And you know what? Let me separate the Mavericks from the fans and the organization. To the fans first, congratulations. Now I can't even be mad. You lost Luka and you gained Cooper Flag. I bet you wish you still had Luka, but I think maybe you guys can let go of Luka a little bit and then, hold on to Cooper Flag. So congrats to you guys. You guys were miserable. You guys were chanting "Fire Nico." He was kicking you guys out the stadium. To go through all of that and then to come out on the other side, something to be excited for next year. I'm happy for Mavericks fans. I really am. Congrats to Mavericks fans. But with that being said, the fact that Nico Harrison got bailed out, he's gonna get a contract extension now. He's not getting fired. He's not getting fired. He deserves to get fired, but now he won't. Because now he's like, oh, look, we got Cooper Flag, who is actually a pretty good defensive prospect, along with a guy who's going to average 20 points every year. Now Nico Harrison drafting Cooper Flag is going to be under his regime. That's going to be a check mark on his regime. Even though it's the lottery, it's luck, it's going to be there. Who was the GM who drafted Cooper Flag? Nico Harrison. That's a fact. You know the amount of luck you had to have in order for this to happen? And there's nothing the NBA, there's nothing Adam Silver can do to make it not seem like it wasn't rigged. I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, or I wasn't a conspiracy theory guy until yesterday. I'm all in. I'm all in. I am now a conspiracy theorist. Let me tell y'all something. The moon landing was fake. It was fake. We ain't go to no moon. I'll tell you that right now. The Earth, despite what they try to tell you, the Earth is flat. It is not round. It is flat. They have deceived us all. All of us deceived, deception all around us. We just live in a world full of lies and deception. And it took me 25 years to really understand that. But now I know. This US government, all these businesses with these powerful people, they all lie to us constantly. And you know, to make matters worse, they had the 11th best odds to win the number 1 overall pick. The Miami Heat, before they made the playoffs, when they had to win those 2 play-in tournament games, they had the 11th best odds to win the number 1 overall pick. They chose, for some odd reason, you know what? We want to make the playoffs. We want experience. We want high-level competition. Instead of getting the 11th pick and the 20th pick, let's get 1 draft pick and keep protections on our future draft pick, which is the main reason why they wanted to make the playoffs, because of to keep the protections on their future picks from 2027 and beyond. Their so-called competition that they really yearned for and whatnot got them spanked 4-0 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are down 3-1 right now to the Indiana Pacers. You wouldn't even known that if you saw how they beat the Miami Heat. You wouldn't have known that. You wouldn't have assumed that they would be down 3-1 to the Indiana Pacers, but they are. Miami lost. Miami really wanted 50 to lose by 55 points in a playoff game at home. They wanted to lose by 30 plus points in a playoff game at home. They valued that than possibly getting the number 1 overall pick. And I know what y'all gonna say. Oh, if it was the Miami Heat, we wouldn't get the number 1 overall pick. Let's take the conspiracy hats off, okay? Let me put that right there. The way the lottery played out, the Miami Heat probably would have got the number 1 overall pick. I understand the basketball gods, the fate, the chance. Miami Heat doesn't have that much good luck. I understand that. But the facts are the facts. The team with the 11th best odds to win the lottery won the lottery. And at some point, it was the Miami Heat. But we forfeited that right because we wanted to lose in the playoffs by a combined 90-something points in 2 games. By the biggest point differential in NBA playoff history. That's what we traded the 11th best odds for. So yes, no matter how you want to spin it, the Miami Heat did kind of lose the ability to get Cooper Flag. I can't believe the NBA just decided to cheat like that. That's crazy. And then to top it all off, if you are the New Orleans Pelicans, if you are the Brooklyn Nets, if you are the Utah Jazz, if you are all the other tanking teams, let me tell you something. Tanking does not work. They changed the rules in 2019 that the top 3 teams are going to have the same odds to get the number 1 overall pick. And the team with the worst record in the league, since they changed the rules in 2019, has not gotten the number 1 overall pick. The Utah Jazz are picking 5th. The Washington Wizards are picking 6th. The Spurs jumped up 6 spots to get number 2. The Dallas Mavericks jumped up 10 spots. Atlanta last year jumped up 9 spots. Like, tanking just doesn't work. And teams from February or January to all the way to April, put out G League type teams. No offense, but G League type teams in order to lose in the regular season and to get a high draft pick. Well, guess what? It doesn't work, because we've seen for the past several years that when you lose on purpose, it doesn't work out. They brought that. They low key brought it upon themselves. As much as I've been saying it's rigged. Like this is what they do to themselves. This is what they did to themselves. They fielded out teams that weren't competitive because they're like, oh, listen, let's make up fake injuries for our veteran players and whatnot. Hey, it turns out that maybe you should try to win. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe losing on purpose doesn't work. It clearly doesn't. You got 2 years in a row. Even last year too, right? Reed Shepherd. The Rockets ended up jumping up to get Reed Shepherd. You NBA, you must pay for your crimes. You understand me? You must pay for your crimes. Come here. NBA, let me tell you something. Your reign of terror is over. I'm on to you. You think you could just cheat? You think you could cheat an NBA fan like me and not get the consequences? Listen, I'm going to see y'all in court. You ruled the day you messed with me.